Hello everyone, welcome to Zaref Game Dev. In this video, we are going to begin with the lesson 7, which is the understanding static versus instance members. So let's start by creating our project structure. So we are going to start with the lesson 7. And again, we are going to have the 3 folders. Practice, not practice. What are the names? Example, project, and tasks. Example, then we have the project, and finally tasks. And let's create our example scene. And for the example scene, we are just going to have 3 scripts. So let's create those scripts first. So the first script is going to be the dog enemy, and finally the player script. So this lesson is related to the understanding of static versus instance members. So if you don't know what are they, uh, we are going to go through by practicing the examples. So for testing, I'll just create a test game object, and I'll attach all 3 of those scripts here: dog, enemy, and the player. Now let's go by testing the scripts. So I already opened up Visual Studio. I'll close all the previous scripts. Now let's go to a lesson 7 example. And let's go to the doc script. So in the doc script, we are just going to test with let's create the namespace first. Namespace lesson 7.example. Examples. Okay. And first we are going to have a dog name. So this is going to be an instance variable. And after that, we are going to have public static instance, which is our dog count. And at start, it is going to be 0. And inside our start, we are just going to increase the dog count. Dog count plus plus, and we'll use a debug.log, and that should wait for the logs. Where is the error? Update is empty. My caps lock is turned on. Okay. Debug.log, dog name has been created. Total. This end bracket was missing. So that's it for the dog count. And how it is going to work is we are going to have multiple dogs and they are going to be having different names. But as you can see, our dog count is 0 at the start, but as it is static, the dog count increase is going to be for all the dogs. So how many dogs are there? Similarly, let's go to our next script, which is our enemy. We'll put it in the correct namespace first. Namespace lesson 7 dot examples, and let's remove the unnecessary code. And inside our enemy, we are going to have an instance variable health and a global variable for the damage multiplier. Public static int damage multiplier, and at the start it is just going to be 1, and instead of int it is going to be float. And let's create a method attack player, and inside our attack player we'll tell damage to deal is going to be equal to 10f multiply our damage multiplier. Let's rename this to the global damage multiplier. Global damage multiplier. And we'll just debug.log enemy attacks player for this much amount of damage. And let's create a static method, set global damage multiplier. And here, increase damage or increase difficulty. And here we are just going to set the global damage multiplier. We'll increase it by 0.5. And we'll debug.log global damage multiplier. And inside our player script, let's go to the player. Let's create the namespace first. Lesson 7 examples. And let's create an enemy and we'll call it a specific enemy. And for that specific enemy, if not inside our update, if attack player or enemy dot increase difficulty. Specific enemy dot attack player. I mean, it is not going to matter that much. Let's make it public. And enemy dot increase difficulty. Okay, so that is it going to be the player. And instead of having an simple and we'll just call it specific enemies, and here for each enemy the enemy is going to attack the player, public list of enemies, and we need to add using collections using system.collections.generic, and that should wait for the scripting part. Now let's go inside Unity and let's test our first script. So I'll remove all of the scripts first. Now let's test our dog script. So we'll just call it dog underslash one, and we'll attach our dog script here. So let's just call it dog A, and similarly dog B and dog C. So previously, as you saw, for the script, the dog count is increasing at the start. So as it is a static variable, the dog count is going to be for the whole class. So for all the scripts which are dog, the value is going to increase. So when I hit play, you are going to see in the console the name for the dog A has been created, dog B has been created, and dog C has been created. So the total dogs are 1, 2, and 3. So the value is persisting for the whole class. Similarly, we are going to create our player, and inside our player, I'm going to attach our player script, and we are going to need a couple of enemies. So let's create our first enemy, and let's attach our enemy script, and everyone is going to have the scripts attached, and let's add them here. And let's see what is going to happen. So previously our static variable, the value was increased for the whole class, but here we are calling the static method. So what happens with the static method is it calls on the class itself rather than looking for the instance. So here, even if we have 5 enemies or 6 enemies, it is just going to call the method once. So let's hit play and see how it is going to work. So we are first going to have the message, and let's hit space for the attack and D for increasing the difficulty. So when I hit space, as you can see, every enemy is attacking for 10 damage. And let's increase D. So the global damage multiplier is set to 1.5, and let's set D again. So as you can see, instead of the damage increasing 6 times, it just increased the static variable. So that's how it was going to access. But previously in our dog class, the instance was calling the start method, and every script was calling the start method. So that's why increase the value again. Now let's clear the console, and let's increase the difficulty again. And when I press space, the damage is going to be 25. And it is for all the enemies. So that was it for this part. Let's go to the next one.